What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for a transfer exclusive. This time we have got the GOAT of the transfer window, FABRIZIO Romano, with us today. Welcome to the channel, FABRIZIO, first and foremost. It's an honour and a pleasure to have you on, and I hope you're keeping safe in these very strange times at the moment.
Hello guys, first of all, thank you for having me, for your time, big pleasure, and thank you for the invitation, and ready to talk with you about transfers and everything I can help you. So thanks again.
Well, if you weren't getting badgered enough by Spurs fans, we thought you'd get you on camera and you can answer a few questions for us. We'll start off, we'll get straight into it. The Dele Alli situation, obviously, is you've reported that he's itching for a move to PSG. Pochettino wants him to return there. I would just want to know from you, how likely is this going to happen this window? And also, I want to know from you if you know if there's any similarities between the situation with Dele and what happened with Ndombele, you know, at the back end of last season in the summer, and how Ndombele happened to turn it around, and if Dele could still do that.
Yes, you're right. Just because it's a similar situation, for sure. Just because also in this case, Jose Mourinho was open to sell the player. In this case, Ndombele, in particular with Inter, they were talking about this possibility, first with a possible swap deal with Skriniar, then also about the single situation of Ndombele. And then Daniel Levy changed the situation, and he decided Ndombele to stay, and that's why, obviously, then he finished staying and having a good season with Tottenham. At the moment, with Dele Alli, it's similar, just because Mourinho is open for him to go to Paris Saint-Germain, and the player wants to go. He's really pushing, like day by day. Also in the last hours, he was asking to leave the club just because he's not playing. He's respecting the club, he's respecting the manager, he's respecting the fans. He loves Tottenham, it's obvious, but at the moment he knows that he's not playing. And this kind of players always want to be on the pitch. So it's not just the period, the week, something like this. It's like many months not playing. So that's why Dele wants to go, and he's pushing, and his agents are pushing too with Daniel Levy. Paris Saint-Germain are waiting, and they are convinced they have good chances in the coming days to sign Dele Alli on loan. It will be a simple loan till the end of the season. But at the moment, Daniel Levy had not given the green light yet. So the situation is still stopped by the owner, the president, and we will see in the coming days if something will change. For sure, Dele will continue pushing. Just because, you know, Ndombele changed this position after some days, some weeks, he understood that Daniel Levy was not going to let him leave, so he said to stay and to fight for his place. But at the moment, Dele wants absolutely to go till the end of the season to Paris Saint-Germain.
Is it kind of possible for us to get rid of Dele, or to sell Dele, or to loan Dele in this transfer window without bringing in a replacement?
I think yes, it's a possibility. To be honest, at the moment, I don't know exactly what they're going to do, just because everything is related to Dele. So possible if tomorrow morning, if they're selling Dele or they are loaning out Dele, they are going for a new one. We will see. But for sure, at the moment, there is nothing advanced. Something around with intermediaries talking about Eriksen with Tottenham and with Inter, but nothing really advanced. So at the moment, they are still quiet on new incoming players, just because Daniel Levy still doesn't know what is going to happen with Dele Alli. So it's just a matter of understanding with Dele, and then immediately after we'll know about the situation of the possible replacement. But at the moment, it's a no.
And in terms of the Christian Eriksen situation, we've obviously conflicting reports surrounding him, whether that Spurs want him, he wants to come back to Tottenham. Some people saying that Spurs aren't convinced that of the deal just yet, or Mourinho's not convinced. What's the latest that you've heard on that kind of situation? And is that situation completely dependent on the Dele one as well?
I would say yes, just because signing also Christian Eriksen with Dele Alli in the squad would make sense in my opinion. So I think yes. And about the situation of Eriksen, Inter have been very clear with the player. They don't want Eriksen now. They want Eriksen to leave the club. So they are open to list for any bid. They have not received anything official at the moment from Tottenham. Just some intermediaries are trying to find a solution for Eriksen and are talking with Tottenham. They understood that Mourinho would like to have Eriksen. So he's open for the possibility of signing again Christian Eriksen. The player would love to come back in the Premier League in general. And obviously with Tottenham, he always had a great relationship with the board, with the fans, so he will be happy to join Premier League in general, in particular in this case Tottenham. But the main problem is that because of what happened 1 year ago with Inter negotiating with Tottenham for Christian Eriksen, asking for like, okay, we want to pay this player for 15, 17 million euro, not 20, just because the contract was going to expire in 6 months. And Daniel Levy always said 20 millions or nothing, and they paid 20 millions for Christian Eriksen. Now it's the same situation, but they want a loan fee. So not just a simple loan with paying the salary. They also want salary totally paid from Tottenham, and also a loan fee. That's the problem. Just because paying a loan fee and also the salary that is around 4 million euro after taxes just for 6 months, 4 million euro, it will be a huge problem at the moment for Tottenham. So that's why the situation is not advanced, because by economical side is not a great opportunity for Tottenham. But if Dele will leave the club, who knows? So at the moment we will see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm guessing there's going to be a big few days ahead for Tottenham in the transfer window regarding Dele Alli. But there's something I wanted to ask you. This is in regards to Hugo Lloris, because obviously it was widely reported back when Pochettino was manager at Spurs. Hugo Lloris did once say that he will follow Pochettino anywhere he goes. Lloris is up for contract renewal with 18 months or just under 18 months left to go of his contract. Do you see this one being signed as a contract deal, or do you see him opting to leave and go follow Pochettino at PSG?
Well, just to be honest, I see a lot of rumors around Pochettino, and it's normal because we are talking about a top manager who has a great relationship with his players. So it's normal that when a manager moves to another club, you have a lot of links of players ready to join his club, his new club. About Lloris, I think it's difficult to plan with Paris Saint-Germain on goalkeeper just because they are so happy with Keylor Navas. And in my opinion, what I am told is that if they are going for a new one next summer, would be for a young goalkeeper and not for, and let me say, old. Lloris is an amazing goalkeeper, but is not so young. So obviously they are going for a different goalkeeper if they will change, also because, as I said, that they are happy with Keylor Navas. So it's not a priority, the goalkeeper at the moment for Paris Saint-Germain, and they will think about it on next summer. So at the moment there is nothing imminent on this side. And about the situation with Tottenham, Lloris is happy with Tottenham, and also Mourinho is happy with Lloris. So Tottenham, their mentality with the renewals of contract, they go like step by step, player by player. So now it's time for Son. They will negotiate also with Kane in the coming months for sure. There is a situation of Lloris. So for sure his name is in the agenda. There is nothing decided yet, but 100% his name is in the agenda. And at the moment the situation with Paris Saint-Germain is nothing serious at the moment.
And I want to ask you a question about Jose Mourinho and his relationship with Levy, because his relationship with Pochettino before maybe was they had a strong relationship, but Pochettino very rarely got his first choice targets, and that was a source of frustration for him, reportedly anyway. Jose apparently is very much more open to opportunities that Levy presents him, and I want to know if you've just heard anything, if there's a difference between how Levy and Mourinho interact compared to Pochettino, and if it's a good relationship.
Yes, your point is good, just because, as you mentioned, with Pochettino was a bit different. Pochettino had like, okay, my targets, and I want these players, and if you're going to sign any other one, we can have a problem. So Pochettino has clear targets and likes it if you go with him, with his names. With Mourinho, as you said, he's so open for the opportunities. He understands the moment. You know, I think Jose Mourinho is one of the smartest guys we have in football and in the world in general. First of all, I am a Mourinho lover, just because when we had him in Italy, I was a total fan of Jose Mourinho. So we're talking about the top one as a person and not just as a manager. So he's a smart person. He understands that in this moment, for the pandemic and what's going on in the world, it's difficult to say, I want to sign this player, I'm going to sign this player. Because it's really difficult also when you're talking like Real Madrid, not signing any player for 1.5 years, and to look at Bayern Munich. A lot of clubs having problems with money, also Juventus here in Italy. No one is signing any top player. So he knows that in this moment, having the opportunity is important. I want to mention you also what's happened like 10 years ago when Mourinho was here at Inter. He had a plan like saying with the president of Inter, his first year, saying, I want Deco and I want Ricardo Carvalho as 2 players for Inter. They couldn't sign them just because they had problems with financial fair play and money things. And they said, okay, let's go with Wesley Sneijder and Lucio. And they won everything with these 2 players. And they were the backup options. So it makes you understand that Mourinho is open. He's always an open person. Also about transfers, he always wants respect. So if we go with a strategy, and I'm told with Levy, he's so happy because they're like respectful one with the other one. They had the strategy. He understands the situation with Tottenham, and the clubs understand that he needs to be ready also for the opportunities. In these transfer markets, you have to be ready for opportunities, and it's really difficult to plan. So that's why Mourinho, in my opinion, is the perfect person for this moment for Tottenham, the perfect manager, and I'm told that the relationship with Levy is perfect.
You speak about Real Madrid obviously not signing anyone for around a year now. Sergio Reguilon has a buyback clause of Real Madrid. Is there any chance that they're going to take up that option?
For sure, there is chance because there is a clause, so it's up to Real Madrid. But remember that the final decision is up to the player always. So also, if tomorrow morning Real Madrid will say we want to buy Reguilón, it's the player who decides for himself, and he will be not forced to decide anything. For sure, Reguilón has a great relationship with Real Madrid, but at the moment there is nothing. So what I want to say is enjoy Reguilón because you have an amazing left back, and he's not thinking about I want to come back to Real Madrid or this kind of things. He's so happy with his life at Tottenham, with his relationship with the players, with teammates, with Jose. So at the moment, is everything okay, really, between Reguilón and Tottenham? Obviously, if Real Madrid will decide to call him back, he would be like open. He will decide next summer. But at the moment, there is nothing with Real Madrid. He's only focused on Tottenham. So we will see next summer. But if Real Madrid will sign Alaba, and they are really close, it's just a matter of signing contracts. But the verbal agreement has been reached. I think also having Alaba, okay, he can play as a centre back, as a left back, as a midfielder, wherever. But he's always a good left back. So calling back Reguilón would make sense if you sign Alaba. So at the moment, I would be optimistic for Tottenham, but at the moment there is nothing with Real Madrid.
Talking about Real Madrid players on loan, Gareth Bale currently on a year loan at Spurs, hasn't played much football in the first half of the season. There was even a little clip, I don't know if you saw on the Spurs training, Mourinho saying, do you want, potentially to Bale or regular, we're not really sure who, he says, do you want to stay here or go back to Real Madrid and play no football? Have you heard anything about the likelihood of Spurs taking up the option of a second-year loan deal? And have you heard anything as well about potentially Bale being more involved in the second half of the season, and Spurs still looking forward to getting him more involved?
I'm told that Tottenham in this moment about the situation of Gareth Bale have clear ideas. It's up to the player. It's only up to the player. So the second half of the season will be the key. If he will be playing at Gareth Bale level, and I hope yes, just because coming back to Real Madrid would be a huge problem for him with this kind of salary, coming back to Real Madrid and still with the problems with the board and with Zidane, and finding any other club would be a problem because with this salary in this market with the pandemic, it's really difficult to find a solution. So Tottenham is the best one for sure for him in this moment. But he needs to change. So in the second half of the season will be up to him. If Gareth will be back at his level, playing and showing also he's ready to be back at Bale level, for sure Tottenham are open to keep him also next season. If will be this Bale of the first part of the season, like not playing and not totally involved, it will be really difficult. Also because his salary is like the same of signing a new player for Tottenham. So they will decide at the end of the season. At the moment, they are really relaxed, like saying, okay, let's see at the end. Now it's up to the player, but for sure he needs to change because with this style, would be a problem to stay for Gareth Bale.
Fabrizio, it's been widely reported that Spurs are in the market for a big centre-back. Skriniar's been linked before. Milenkovic of Fiorentina has been linked before. Is there any new names in the hat that kind of been linked to Tottenham, or are those two the kind of only names that are being branded around at the moment?
I think, first of all, it will be difficult to sign a centre-back right now of this level, so that's why I think next summer everything will be decided. And signing this kind of players means you have to plan to sign this player, to contact its agent, to contact with the club. So you have to move. I think in March, in April, Tottenham will decide who is the real target. Also because in transfer, everything can change in some months. Look at the situation of Skriniar. This summer, he was on the market. Inter were open to sell him. And now he's a starter with Conte, and they can't sell Skriniar because he's a perfect player for Inter in this moment. So everything changed in 1 or 2 months. So that's why Tottenham in April, in March, they will consider, okay, what kind of player we want to try. For sure, Skriniar is always appreciated, but his price is around 60 million euro. So he's back at top level. So you need to pay around 50, 60 million euro to sign Skriniar. And Milenkovic is an interesting situation because his contract is expiring with Fiorentina in 2 years and 1 year and a half. And at the moment, he doesn't want to extend his contract, and Fiorentina knows that he wants to move. So let's see if Tottenham will go for him or not. But for sure, he's appreciated. At the moment, he's not the first option, Milenkovic, but he's appreciated. So as I mentioned, I think in March, in April, they will decide, okay, this is the big name. Also, I heard some rumors about Botman between Liverpool and Tottenham. He's having a good season with Lille. So they will go with the decision in the coming months, and we will see. But at the moment, for sure, these two names have been interesting for Tottenham. Sure.
One player who's his name's been banned about the past couple of days is Danny Ings, and he's reportedly not going to sign a new contract at Southampton, or he's mulling over one because he wants to join apparently a club in the Champions League, and Tottenham could reportedly be interested. Obviously, we did something similar with Højbjerg in the summer. Do you think that's something that Tottenham could be looking at and he could be interested in?
For sure, he's always been an appreciated player by Tottenham board. They've been always looking at him as a possibility. Also, last summer and many other times, also he would been like an interesting player. At the moment, I'm told that there is nothing advanced. But as I mentioned, when you are in a transfer market of opportunities, for sure this kind of deal would be an interesting opportunity for Tottenham. So at the moment, I have no updates about something advanced or something like that. Okay, official talks and going on, but I can't say, okay, it's impossible just because the player is appreciated. So we will see in the coming months about this side, and also to see what's going on with the situation of Vinicius for the attacking players of Tottenham, obviously.
It's been also widely reported for many years now at Tottenham how the foreign quota at Tottenham is too high and we kind of need to sell a foreign player before we bring one in. I've heard you speak about Eric Lamela before potentially leaving or potentially staying. Apart from Lamela, first of all, give me your opinion on Lamela if he is going to sign that contract or if he's going to leave. Is there any other player, foreign player, that could be leaving Tottenham to open up a kind of foreign quota within the squad?
Well, that's a good question. First of all, with Lamela, yes, what I said is that many Italian clubs are interested in Lamela because when he was here at Roma, he was an amazing player as he is at Tottenham. So for sure, many Italian clubs would be ready by years to sign Eric Lamela if he will be on the market. But at the moment, I'm also told that the player is absolutely happy with Tottenham. He doesn't want to leave the club. He's okay with Mourinho, so obviously he needs to play more than this, but for sure he's happy. He's happy with Tottenham and he's not planning to leave the club. So to be 100% clear, he's appreciated by Italian clubs, but there is nothing advanced for him to leave the club. I think in January he will stay. Next summer, there is nothing planned for him to leave. So we will see in the coming weeks, but Lamela is happy with Tottenham. We have to understand the situation, for example, of players like Aurier, because, not last summer AC Milan wanted him. Now they have a good situation with right backs, with Diogo Dalot and with Conti, with Calabria, sorry, but for sure they are looking, the Italian clubs are looking for Aurier, and also other clubs can look for this kind of player. So he can be one of the names. In next summer, we have to see what's going on. But Tottenham have not decided yet. So they, between March and April, take this kind of decision. So it's for Aurier, for other players, but at the moment there is nothing advanced yet.
And one name banded about very recently, Nicolo Barella from Inter Milan. Obviously, he's having a great season there this season. I'm sure it would be a difficult deal to get done, but is that something that could potentially happen in the future?
In the future, I don't know, but at the moment, I think it's really, really, really difficult just because imagine that Inter paid 35 million euro for him 2 years ago. And he's the best player for Inter, the best player in the team. With Lukaku, we are talking, in my personal opinion, of the best midfielder, Italian midfielder in this moment, and one of the best midfielder, if not the best one we have in Serie A. So it's really difficult because David asked, like, in my opinion, it's not the news, it's just my opinion, but you can't sign Barella for less than 80 million euro in this moment. So he's young, he's a fighter, he has quality, he scores goals, he's always running 90 minutes. So amazing player, really. Tottenham, as many other clubs, are scouting him just because when you come with your scouts looking at it, you can't say, okay, Barella is not interesting because he's the best one. But at the moment, I think it's really difficult. For January, it's 100% impossible. For next summer, I think it's really, really difficult. But not just for Tottenham, for other clubs, just because Inter are so happy with him and he's untouchable at the moment.
All right. Last really quick one just before we leave. Luis Campos, he's left Lille, right? He left Lille not long ago. Obviously, he's good friends with Jose Mourinho. Is there anything that he could be joining Tottenham in the near future?
When you have this kind of director free on the market, really many clubs are interested, for sure. You mentioned Mourinho, and they have an amazing relationship. In my opinion, Campos is one of the 3 best sporting directors in the world, just because what he did with Monaco and with Lille, he has really something magic when he decides for the players. So I hope for English clubs to sign him, just because it would be amazing to see him back in the Premier League, would be great. But at the moment, I'm told that with Tottenham, there is nothing advanced. So he has something in Spain, something also in France, but with Tottenham, nothing advanced yet. We will see, because as I mentioned, when you have Campos as a free agent talking about the director, but he's amazing. So I hope for English club to sign him, because having money and having Campos would be a fantastic mix.
All right, so I think that's all we have time for today, but I would just like to say thank you very much to you, Fabrizio, for coming to join us, for letting our viewers know everything Tottenham transfer related, the absolute GOAT of the transfer window. We love seeing your work and we love seeing everything you do, and we kind of have very much of a hawk eye on you every single transfer window. So thank you for all the news that you bring us and everything that you do for everyone during the transfer window.
Thank you for these words. Really, really proud. Thank you, and so happy. And thank you. And whatever you need, here I am. I'm always happy to be here with you. So thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Fabrizio.
Thank you very
really
much, Fabrizio. Well,
fascinating
Bye,
stuff.
bye, bye.
Bye. See you later, Fabrizio.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao, ciao,
Thank
ciao,
you.
ciao.
Ciao. All right, so there you have it. That is the GOAT of transfer window, Fabrizio Romano. Absolutely brilliant, getting his insight on all things Tottenham transfer related. Hopefully, we'll get to have him on again, maybe later on the window or in the summer transfer window. But yeah, it was really great to speak to him.
Yeah, absolutely fascinating stuff by Romano. It's so good to talk to someone who has real inside knowledge and has sources that can really he can corroborate with. And yeah, I hope we hear more from him, and hopefully later on we can have him on again. It was such a delight to have him on and to talk to him. I wish we could have had him on for longer, but you know, he's a very busy guy, so unfortunately that was all we had time for. But look, if you want to see him on again, if you want to get us more transfer daily updates, make sure you like and subscribe and follow the channel for more great content as always. And yeah, really good stuff.
All right, so there you go. That was the GOAT of the transfer window, Fabrizio Romano. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding anything that he spoke about. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always,
Come on you Spurs.